Hi, welcome to an overview session on SAP Extended Warehouse Management. Today we are going to talk about SAP Extended Warehouse Management. We are going to give you an overview on the SAP Extended Warehouse Management module of SAP. We are going to discuss and review the course content of our training program, and we'll also talk about how the course is conducted, how we take you through the concepts of SAP Warehouse Management, and how we help you in learning this new module of SAP. Warehouse Management. First of all, what is warehouse management and what are the key objectives that we look forward from a warehouse management system? A warehouse management system is a software which is designed to support and optimize the warehouse functionality and to support distribution center management. A warehouse management also is used to facilitate management by the warehouse supervisor in helping them in their day-to-day planning, organizing staff, directing them, controlling the resources, moving the parts in and out of the warehouse, and also keeping a track of the support staff, how they are performing in executing the movements of products in and out of warehouse. Warehouse management system is basically a software which warehouse users they use it while carrying out the warehouse processes, and also by warehouse supervisors who keep a track of how things are being carried out in a warehouse. What are the key objectives we should look from a warehouse management system? Higher customer service. Main focus of a warehouse management system is given to customer service because the customers may come up with all kinds of requirements. A warehouse management system should be flexible enough, should have those capabilities to adhere to client needs and give them the products at the right time in the requirements that they have given us. Process standardization. Over the period of years, a lot of warehousing processes have become standardized due to the way they are being used across industries. EWM or any warehouse management system is look forward to adhering those standards, increased efficiency and productivity. A warehouse management system is no longer a system just used to manage the products, give information of inventory. It is now used to help the business optimize their processes, help them in efficiently performing their operations, and help them with increasing their productivity in the way they perform their warehousing processes. Reduce inventory and labor cost. Modern warehouses have become smaller, faster, flexible. The expectations from modern warehouses are that they should keep the right amount of inventory, not too much, not too less. Any warehouse you take, it overflows after some time. So the spaces have reduced, the inventory is going down. We have to manage with minimum inventory so that it's less asset in hand for the company. Should not be showing as a big value on their balance sheet. So companies look forward to having a optimized inventory for their warehouses. They're also looking forward to have labor cost reduced. So the benefits that they get from reducing the labor cost, they can pass it on to their product and they can be more competitive in their markets. Greater visibility and decision support. Warehouse management system should help them in giving a in-depth analysis of stock and how the warehouse operations are being performed so that effective decisions can be made while the processes are being carried out, and also if any change in process is required, or this should also help them in implementing new decisions in their companies. Process automation scalability. So new warehouses have all sorts of automated equipments. You have forklifts, you have conveyors, you have cranes, you have robotic arms, you have automatic storage retrieval systems. So all kind of automations are coming up. The warehouse management system should be able to automate a lot of warehouse processes for you. Plus, those should be scalable. Those interface with your hardware should require less maintenance, and flexibility to order processes. What we look forward from a warehouse management system is an ability to be flexible in processing the orders. The warehouse management system should be capable of providing the flexibility to the companies so that they can implement their own processes when it comes to receiving the stock and when it comes to delivering the stock. No two warehouse, they may follow the same process depending on the physical nature of storage products. There can be some process requirement from the request point of view, from where we are getting a request to process orders. They may have some requirements on how processes should be carried out. A warehouse management system should be flexible to adopt those processes as well as take into consideration whatever product specific and storage specific requirements we have in terms of processing orders. Improved space utilization. Using our warehouse management system, it should help us to utilize our space as much as possible and help us deliver our request in an optimized manner. SAP EWM and its deployment options. SAP EWM is a warehouse product from SAP which is used to manage high volume warehouse operations. It is used to integrate complex supply chain, logistic, and warehousing distribution processes. They are providing us with ultimate visibility and controlling of warehouse processes. It not only stores your stock, it also helps you optimizing your inventory tracking, help you with cross-docking operations, distribution operations, multi-channel fulfillment in real time. Reason why SAP has brought in EWM where it also had a warehouse management solution due to high data volume, better performance and flexibility requirement, there was a need to make a new architecture. Moreover, with the experiences we had for bigger complex warehouses, there was a need to have a warehousing solution for decentralized warehouse where all other modules are in one system and SAP EWM is in another system. We call it as a decentralized warehouse management system. So most of this bigger warehouse, complex warehouses, they use this decentralized warehousing concept. The requirement was that these warehouses should work 24 by 7. So to ensure the system is available 24 by 7, even when the ERP system they may be down, this EWM system should be working. So for those kind of requirement, SAP thought of bringing up a new solution in a decentralized space. Also, SAP wanted to change the basic concept of SAP WM where transfer orders were used to ensure that the new functionality gives them more flexibility. There was a risk in changing the existing architecture of mature application WM, which was used by thousands of live customers. So that was also a reason SAP did not change WM and brought in a new product, SAP EWM. With SAP EWM, SAP is also looking forward to changing the mindset of warehousing from just managing the stock to controlling the processes and help them achieve those objectives that we have discussed in our last slide. So let us quickly go through the deployment options that we have in with SAP EWM as of now. SAP EWM standalone. In this deployment option, SAP EWM is installed as a separate module in NetWeaver, or it is installed as part of SCM. It is decentralized in a separate instance and it talks to one or more ERP systems. These ERP systems are your ECC system, where all MM, SDP, PQM, all those modules are being used. And the EWM talks to those systems using queued RFCs. You can suggest one of these deployment for your customers while you're implementing SAP EWM, or you are already working on SAP Extended Warehouse Management. So you may be working on either of these deployment options. In classic ACC, we have another deployment option where SAP ERP can be connected to one or more EWM standalone systems. Company which is based out of Chicago, they have a warehouse in Chicago. The same plant has another warehouse in Germany. So these can be two separate EWM systems in two different countries. So one more reason for having a decentralized warehouse is the decentralized warehouse can have their own servers closer to the warehouse. Most of the RF processes are done on handheld device, scanner. We need faster response from server. Also, EWM generates huge data. So by having a decentralized warehouse, The bigger warehouses that they generate huge data, they need flexibility, they need faster response from server. Generally, we have a server closer to the warehouse. So we will have a server in this case, one server in Chicago and another server in Germany. Let's now talk about the deployment options that we have in S4HANA. In S4HANA, we have both options, embedded option as well as decentralized. One thing is you can have your ERP modules like MMPP, SD, QM, all those modules can be part of S4HANA, and you can continue to use EWM as part of decentralized SCM based or installed separately in NetWeaver, that kind of warehouse. You call it as a standalone warehouse. You can still continue to use EWM as a standalone warehouse. It can talk to one or more S4HANA system. Same way as we discussed, one ERP system can have one or more EWM decentralized system depending on the number of warehouses the ERP system needs. So those more than one decentralized warehouses can be also connected to a S4HANA ERP system. We have another deployment option where SAP ERP and SAP EWM both can be part of one instance. With this kind of deployment, we call it as an embedded EWM. In the embedded EWM, in the same S4HANA system, we'll have all the ERP modules as well as we'll have EWM system in the same instance. The benefit is we don't need maintenance of two separate servers. In S4HANA, the processing is fast. With this deployment option, SAP is also trying to suggest this solution for smaller and medium warehouses also, where traditionally we were using SAP WM module. Finally, depending on a company, you can have a mix of all types of deployment options in a company. You can see it's in S4HANA. For some warehouse, it can use an embedded version. Some warehouse, it can use the decentralized S4HANA EWM system. For some warehouse, it can connect to SAP EWM standalone. So you can also connect to all types of warehouses through a ERP system in S4HANA. Necessity to move to EWM. Why there is a need to move to EWM? SAP future vision is to continue and expand SAP EWM as warehouse management solution with more capabilities and refinement. SAP still support ECC WM implementation. It has higher maintenance cost, but as of now, there are no enhancements being made in a comprehensive WMS system. So P is not bringing in new changes, new functionalities in the SAP WM module. SAP EWM is used across industries. Through S4HANA in the model company, SAP has provided SAP EWM as a warehousing solution, and they have proposed for all the model company solutions they have for various industries. SAP enables warehousing activities to be executed seamlessly with inbuilt best practices. Catch rate management, cross-docking, validated service, all these solutions can be executed seamlessly through the best practice experience that SAP has implementing warehouse management in various industries. SAP EWM also gives the capability to handle large volume of transactions in a faster manner as it is required for consumer product industries. So in this new architecture, SAP has an object-oriented programming which will dynamically calculate your variables. And this is a new programming to the way we do it in normal ERP modules. This kind of programming is used to give more flexibility in designing your own process. So it's a new dimension module and a lot of new functionalities you will see in SAP EWM. As a market leader in business systems, SAP brings continuous enhancement with SAP EWM with cutting edge technology to help businesses grow faster. Some of these examples of new cutting edge technologies which SAP has delivered with EWM directly connecting to MFS system, there is no need of a middleware. SAP also have eliminated middleware in their voice picking. So you can see a lot of developments coming up in EWM side where SAP is looking forward to bring a world-class solution in the warehousing space. SAP EWM running on S4HANA is also going to speed up the processing transaction. It is going to help you in huge data handling and it will help you in abilities of predictive analytics as well. So these are the current necessities which are driving the companies to move to SAP EWM. Evolution of SAP EWM. So what you can see on your screen is how the functionalities have evolved in SAP EWM over the period of years. It started in 2006 with EWM 5 version, then we had 7, 7.1, 2. I would say 9 was a major breakthrough with SAP EWM. Prior to 9, we used to install SAP EWM as a add-on in the SCM system with APO and other modules. But after EWM 9 version, EWM became a lot more stable. SAP recommended after 9 version to have EWM separate instance. There was no need to share the same system with APO and SNC, SNP systems. Some of the important functionalities that have been delivered by SAP are bringing up shipping cockpit, direct integration with transportation management, dock appointment scheduling, where you can schedule appointments for your truck and trailer onto your doors. Cartonization planning helps you in planning your outbound load into a truck or a trailer. Advanced production integration, where you are now able to integrate production processes to EWM. You can replicate your production orders to EWM as production material requests, and all your staging, good receipt, all activities can take place in EWM. Important functionalities like MFS continuously it has been improvised and new features are being provided. Pick by voice, warehouse billing, pick by cart, labor management, slotting, cross-docking, wave management, transit warehousing, commerce returns are some of the other functionalities which have added into the extended warehouse management while SAP EWM was being evolved over these period of years. Capability comparison of SAP WM with SAP EWM. Here you can see some of the functionalities you have in WM, you also have them in EWM, but the way they are executed in EWM are totally different. For example, handling unit management in WM and how we do it in EWM is totally different. EWM is a lot more stable. We don't get inconsistency issues. It is easy to work with handling units, multi-level mixed handling units, easy to pack, unpack, and we don't use storage unit management of WM. RF technology we had in WM, it's there in EWM, but the way we do it is totally different. We also have replenishment, placement strategies, removal strategies. The main aim of having warehousing system is to have bin management and manage store location stock in a warehousing system. Those features are also there in EWM. But features like placement strategy, removal strategies, replenishment, they are same, but the way we do it in EWM it's totally different. So that's why even if you are from a WM space, you still have to go through these concepts in EWM. Functional understanding of this warehousing processes will help you, but you still have to see how it works in SAP EWM. Important functionalities which we find in EWM: yard management, standard out of the box. We have it in EWM. Easy to activate, deactivate, yard management, RF framework, advanced configurable RF, which helps us to make our own RF screens, customize our process, warehouse specific for executing our RF transactions. It is very flexible. Any requirement can be easily added to the standard framework by plugging in at various connection points provided by SAP. Task and resource management. SAP has functionality standard in EWM where you can manage not only your stock but also your resources that are handling the stock, like how many pallets a resource can pick, what are its capabilities. You can also track which resource is doing what activity in the warehouse. Warehouse management goes to a next level in handling your resources as well. Cartonization planning. Planning takes place in calculating your load in terms of delivery to a customer, in managing your load for a truck or trailer. Value-added service and kitting. Kits can be prepared. Value-added services, standard out of the box. You can activate this functionality where you can track labeling, cleaning, activities that you do. You can calculate the time required, resources required. You can give instructions while these activities are being carried out. You can prepare kits for your warehouse or for your customer. Unloading, loading of transportation unit is a simple requirement which we didn't have in WM, but now we are able to load, unload transportation unit. It's a very essential requirement for most of the warehouses where the pallets, when they come in the warehouse, we need to unload them Similarly, when the pallets are going out, we need to load them on a truck. With EWM, you can load them, you can track which handling units are on a truck, which handling units are in the yards. All this information is transparent and you can track your stock across your premises. Deconsolidation, if you get mixed pallets, you can take it to deconsolidation area. It can do a repacking there, and then you finally place it into different storages. Slotting and rearrangement, it helps you to identify and optimize storage for your product and helps you to rearrange your stock so that they are placed in an optimized manner. Labor management, to manage your warehouse users. It also integrates with HR where you can make decisions on their wages and they can track their performance using several reports in labor management. Cross-docking helps you in the overall supply chain, helps you in being more efficient in your logistic planning across your supply chain. Warehouse billing, stock appointment scheduling, exception handling, flexible and comprehensive monitoring tools are some other important features of EWM. A EWM system is always designed to carry out all activities on the RF devices. We don't do the activities on the desktop. All activities are done on the RF. So any exceptions to the system suggested way of doing the process gets recorded as exception in the system. You can trigger alerts, email. You can see those alerts in the monitor and you can make decisions for changing a process. Those alerts can also be used as a KPI metrics for your warehouse. Warehouse monitors, CDS views, cockpit provided by SAP to help you when we are monitoring in SAP EWM. They are more comprehensive, have more detailed analytics possibilities, and they are flexible as well. Let's go through an inbound process and talk about how inbound could be done when we are doing it in I managed warehouse, how we do it in a W managed warehouse, and how we would do the same process for a simple EWM managed warehouse, and how we would do the same process for a complex EWM managed warehouse. Warehouses I manage the storage location. Basically, we don't assign it to warehouse. We only track the stock at storage location level. We do good receipt. The stock its storage location increases. We see the stock in the storage location. It's like your warehouse premises. The stock is there in the warehouse, but we don't know at which bin it exists. So that's the inventory management. We just know how much stock we are holding. In terms of using WM or EWM, we will now go and see the stock at bin level and see where in the warehouse they are stored. So in your warehouse premises, they are stored in a particular location. We will be able to track that location also. For an inbound process, SAP WM, we first create purchase orders. We post the good receipt of the purchase order using MiGo transaction. A material document gets posted. This material document will increase your stock at your storage location level and your accounting documents are created. You can trigger vendor payment based on the payment terms. This brings the stock in the interim bin, like your interim areas from where you will be taking it to an actual area in the warehouse for storing them. WM, we use transaction LTO6 to create a transfer order. This is a document required to track the movement of your products within a warehouse. So in WM, we use transfer orders, which after carrying out the movement, will confirm the transfer orders. The warehouse stock is seen in the final bin, and that way we complete our process. And this is how our inbound process is done in WM. To help you understand the difference with EWM, let us see how we do the same process with EWM. We create a purchase order. We create inbound delivery using VL31N transaction. This inbound delivery is also a vendor ASN where vendor has sent us a shipping notification once they have dispatched the product from their end. This is a mandatory document for receiving products in EWM. This inbound delivery will then get replicated to EWM. In EWM, using the inbound delivery, we are going to post a good receipt. Then a material document gets created. Here, good receipt posting is done in EWM, which will trigger a good receipt posting on the ERP side. And similarly, a material document gets created. We use warehouse task in EWM. So we don't use transfer orders. We use warehouse tasks to do movements in EWM. We'll confirm the warehouse task and the stock is available in the final warehouse bin. So this is how we would do an inbound process in a simple EWM managed warehouse. Let us now talk about how similar inbound process can be carried out in a complex inbound process. We will create a purchase order. Using the purchase order, we would create a inbound delivery. The inbound delivery, we will assign it to a transportation unit. This transportation unit can be created in integration with transportation management or using shipments or using some interface with your third-party logistic vendors who have planned the shipment for you. Represents your truckload or a trailer which is going to pick one or more delivery stock from your warehouse. We move the tube to the door. We perform unload and the GR is posted in EWM. Full load truck comes from the vendor. We check it at the gate. We take it at the door. At the door, we are going to unload the handling units. We can unload the handling units one at a time, or we can unload the whole delivery at once. Once you unload and do the good receipt, a material document gets posted. This material document will then get replicated to your ERP system. After unloading, we have stock in staging area. From staging area, we can directly put it away in the final bin, or we can do the same process via some intermediate steps. We can take it to a deconsolidation area, we can take it to a quality area. So here, for example, we take it to a deconsolidation workstation. Let's say we got mixed pallets and we want to unpack into homogeneous pallets before we place them into the warehouse. So we'll confirm the task and move the stock to a deconsolidation workstation. In the workstation, we'll perform our unpacking and complete our deconsolidation. After deconsolidation, we will then move the stock to a identification point where the products are going to be identified before we place them into the final bin. And then we execute and confirm the task to put it into the final bin from the identification point. All these processes, the tasks are created automatically and we confirm them using the RF guns. So finally, warehouse task is created from the deconsolidation to ID point, and from identification point, a task is created to place it into the final bin. We confirm these tasks and the stock comes into the final warehouse bin. This is how we execute a complex inbound process in EWM. What you can see on your screen now is our course content. We'll be first going through the system integration and SIF, understanding the various organizational units for integrating EWM with ERP, how to integrate the settings involved in integrating the warehouse, how APO core interface works. We are going to then talk about the warehouse structure and the master data involved in executing the EWM processes, structure elements like storage types, sections, activity areas, and we'll cover all the master data as well in Unit 2. Unit 3, we'll talk about all the monitoring tools that we have in EWM, and we'll also talk about how transactions are carried out on RF using RF framework. While doing that, we'll understand how the resource and queue management is carried out and how we do configurations for RF in EWM. Until Unit 3, we will complete our setup of our warehouse. Then from Unit 4, we'll start executing the warehousing processes. We are going to implement a case study warehouse while we are understanding the concepts. So we'll create a warehouse together, create a new plant, storage location, assigning it to company code. We will create our own structure elements in the warehouse. So this is going to be a template warehouse where we are going to go through a case study of a pump manufacturing. These are all the components of our finished product pump which we are going to manufacture. We are going to receive the raw materials, supply them to production, receive the finished goods from production, and deliver it to our customer. So we are going to go through all the processes using this case study warehouse. This is an example of a demo sheet of all the data that we are going to prepare, right from storage location, warehouse, shipping point, sales organization, sales area, plants, and all the supporting data that we need for executing processes in EWM. So after setting up all the data for our warehouse, our template warehouse, our case study project, we'll start executing the processes. We'll start first with good receipt process. We'll carry out inbound processing using EWM. We'll talk about the quality integration of SAP EWM, expected good receipt scenario, how we do slotting and rearrangement. We'll also understand availability group, how we set up those to connect EWM with inventory management. And finally, we'll talk about all the strategies that we have in the inbound process. Followed by inbound process, we will go through outbound process as well. Similarly, on outbound process, we are going to see how outbound deliveries are created, how we carry out wave management, we understand outbound strategies, outbound deliveries, how they can be directly created in EWM. We will go through the exception handling process, how pig denial works in outbound, how do we integrate outbound with batch management, and we'll also talk about how advanced production integration works with EWM, how we supply parts for production orders, and how are we going to receive the finished products. So these are going to be our basic inbound and outbound process. Then we are going to implement complex processes for our warehouse. First, by activating yard management, we will integrate our warehouse to yard, and then the same inbound process, outbound process, we are going to carry out using yard management. We are going to create our own deliveries, map those deliveries to a new document types in EWM. We'll understand how the deliveries are integrated in extended warehouse management. We are going to discuss how the warehouse order creation rule works. It is used to prepare a work package based on the resource capacity. Warehouse order creation rule, we are going to prepare an optimized work package for the resources to execute the process. We are going to understand EWM using this process execution in our case study warehouse. And finally, we are going to implement storage control where using process and layout storage control, we are going to amend our inbound process to carry out various intermediate steps like deconsolidation and quality for inbound, staging and packing for outbound, and loading and loading as well. Thereafter, we are going to talk about all the internal warehouse processes like posting changes, stock transfer, ad hoc movements, replenishment. We are going to also talk about physical inventory process, different procedures, documents, how we handle differences, and what are the reporting tools in physical inventory. Finally, we'll talk about the cross topics of EWM like labor management, how PPFs are used for automating them, like printing of labels, automatically doing posting good receipts, goods issues in background, and many more things. About how value-added services are implemented, how do we carry out kitting in EWM, cross-docking, and how do we carry out processing integrated with a material flow system. For all these units, we are going to follow an approach where, for example, we are going through goods issue process. We will first go through the objectives of our session, then we'll go through the concepts, understand how the outbound process works. You through screenshots, through slides, we are going to understand the whole concept. Then we are going to execute the scenarios and system, and we will also mention all the transaction and steps how we carried out our scenario in system. Finally, we'll wrap up the session and we'll continue doing that for all our topics. Some of the topics, whatever demonstration we'll do, we will also share with you the Word document which has all the steps of whatever configuration and master data we did to execute the process. Finally, we'll cover all the topics for the units, and at the end of each unit, we'll summarize our learning from that unit, followed by an assessment and evaluation for the concepts that we understood in that unit. We will give you a lot of assignments. You will have to do it in your case study warehouse. We do these processes in the training for a case study warehouse. In parallel, we expect you to create your own warehouse integrated to the master data and follow the processes with me. And at the end of each unit, I will be giving you a lot of assignments to carry out for that particular unit, like testing an exception code or how to create a batch managed product. For each unit, we'll also share with you question answers to help you evaluate yourself on the understanding of the concepts that you have learned in that unit. How close is very close to SAP certification course content. So if you are planning to appear for SAP certification, this course is going to help you. So this is all about how the course is going to be conducted. Similar documents, similar slides you'll find for all the topics that we are going to cover. Just to give you an example on how we are going to demonstrate our topics. For example, we are covering wave management. So first we are going to cover all the configurations involved. In wave management, we are going to understand the master data and how to test the particular concept that we have just understood. So similar Word documents will be shared with you for all your demonstration topics. Common question that people ask while enrolling the course is, if you don't have WM experience, still is this course valid for you? Even if you do not have WM experience, still you can go through the course. This course, we are going to understand the concepts from start. We are going to go with the basics, and slowly we are going to make the scenarios more complicated. You still have to go through, even if you have WM background, because the way the configurations are done, the scenarios are executed in EWM are totally different to how you do it in WM. For people who don't have WM background, it's fine. We will go through from start and we'll help you understand the concepts. So this is going to be our interactive course. Do send me your questions, your scenario. Let's discuss, and I'll try my best to help you out in starting your journey in SAP EWM. The whole idea behind this course is to give you a practical understanding on how EWM is implemented in various companies. So we are going to share our practical knowledge, plus we are also going to help you in understanding how the standard processes are carried out in SAP EWM. Thank you.